Dark. A word for gloomy, pessimistic, sinister, or negative. Alright, I'm gonna spare you guys the 5-minute intro. I've done this like 3 times already. It's been a long time since I've last talked about Adventure Time here on the channel, but I'm back to talk about some of the creepiest and darkest moments from the series. Now, we're just barely scratching the surface of dark moments from the series, so if you find yourself enjoying this video, and you have some recommendations for a possible part 2, or you just want more Adventure Time content from me in general, then comment down below and drop a like on the video. Maybe we could shoot for 40 likes. But without further ado, let's get crazy. The Deer. We're starting off with one of the most infamous villains in all of Adventure Time. Way scarier than the Lich, Gulb, or even Orgolorg. Yeah, I'm talking, of course, about the Stag. Now, the Stag from the Season 3 episode, No One Could Hear You, is downright creepy. So creepy, in fact, that I made a dedicated video breaking down that entire episode just last year. And to be honest with all of you, my opinion on this monster or this episode has not changed in the last 365 days. It's still terrifying, it makes me uncomfortable, and I get goosebumps and prostate pains whenever someone on Twitter reposts the clip of the deer taking its little hoof gloves off, revealing its fingers. Oh god, make it stop. Now, I won't spend too much time talking about this entry since, again, I made a whole video on the episode, but to briefly summarize, the plot focuses on Finn as he emerges from a coma caused by the deer. The rest of the episode is about him trying to solve the mystery behind the disappearance of the candy people while also dealing with Jake, as he's gone completely insane. Since Finn was in a coma and Jake suffered a head injury from their fight with the Stag earlier in the episode, there was basically no one else to protect the Candy Kingdom. I guess, where the hell were these guys? So the deer got to work on kidnapping everyone in the Candy Kingdom and sticking them to the walls and ceiling of a sewer. Why? Well, I have no idea. But the episode ends with the deer getting the snot knocked out of him. However, it still walks among us. By the way, the candy people stuck to the walls and ceiling of the sewer, and how miserable and scared they all look. I mean, what a horrifying and eerie sight to see. Anyways, this animal monster, this little creepy guy, and this entire episode creeps me out. I know the focus of this entry is supposed to be on the deer, but I do want to quickly bring attention to Jake as well. He was another factor in why this episode was freaky. From the bugs crawling out of his ear, to smashing Finn's wheelchair and tying him up, to waiting 6 months for a birthday surprise party that was never coming to, whatever the hell this is. I mean, thank goodness that Finn was able to find the candy people and snap Jake out of his delusional state. Otherwise, this situation would have lasted way longer than 6 months. The Horse. Next up, we have the quote-unquote horse from the Season 2 episode, The Eyes. This is another episode that I broke down in a previous video, so I won't spend forever on this entry either, but the basic rundown of the episode is that Finn and Jake are exhausted after spending a multitude of days kicking ass and taking names. However, they can't fall asleep because there are a pair of eyes beaming down upon them from outside the treehouse. These eyes belong to a horse, which is technically just the Ice King in disguise. But for a majority of the episode, Finn and Jake are under this impression that there is just a wild horse looking into their souls. Could you imagine trying to fall asleep after a long day of work and not being able to because—
Open the window and let me in. Yee.
I mean, I would be creeped out because my bedroom is on the 2nd floor of my house. So if there was just a horse standing outside my window, well, first of all, yeah, I would be scared, but also, I would be wondering how the fuck the horse even managed to get up to my window.
Your flesh.
Next up is the line that Peppermint Butler utters to Finn and Jake right at the end of the Season 2 episode, Death in Bloom. Princess Bubblegum asks Finn and Jake to watch over her plant until she returns. However, the duo accidentally kill the plant, so in order to make things right, they have to enter the land of the dead in order to reclaim the plant's soul. So Peppermint Butler, in exchange for a future favor, helps the boys enter the land of the dead. Towards the end of the episode, we learn exactly what Peppermint Butler wants from the boys in exchange for helping them.
I'd like your flesh.
Now, obviously, Finn and Jake still have their flesh in future episodes, meaning that Peppermint Butler never really took their flesh, but Jesus Christ, what a way to end an episode.
I'm going to take it from you while you sleep.
Possessed bubblegum. Of course, how could we ever forget the time that Princess Bubblegum became possessed in the Season 2 episode, Mortal Recoil? After falling into the well of power, PB is sent to the ER for emergency surgery. She then spends time in her bed recovering. However, she isn't exactly, normal. She's kind of like Reagan in The Exorcist when she becomes possessed. Like, PB isn't violently throwing up or doing 360 head spins or anything like that, but she's speaking gibberish at times, and she also just looks like a lifeless corpse possessed by a demon. This particular scene, however, is just nuts to butts. When Jake tries to serenade the princess with beautiful music, she begins to growl and rock her bed back and forth before ultimately setting her bedroom on fire and grabbing onto Jake. I don't know about any of you, but
That's some freaky deaky sh**.
The Blank-Eyed Girls. Yet another creepy episode that I broke down in a previous video. Season 7, Episode 19, Blank-Eyed Girl. This episode follows Finn and Jake as they try to deal with an army of blank-eyed girls who were thought to be an urban legend but are very real. Off topic, but this has been bugging me since I first made my Blank-Eyed Girl video. These are not cattails. I referred to them as cattails in the video, but they're really just dandelion seeds. I always just assumed that they were cattails because of the brown corn dog looking piece, but a lot of you guys in the comments corrected me, which I very much appreciate. Anyways, these blank-eyed girls aren't that creepy. Like, they don't really do anything super disturbing in this episode until the very end, when they begin removing their contact lenses, their wigs, their heads, and then their clothes. That's when things get weird. These girls, I guess in their true form, pretty much resemble Fresno nightcrawlers, which is just a type of cryptid that was allegedly spotted in Fresno County, California, as well as a few other places. They basically resemble, at least to me, a pair of pants or legs. Anyways, this scene was weird, and I think all of us made the exact same face that Finn and Jake made in this episode when this scene unfolded. Princess Cookie. Next up, we have the tragic and dark Season 4 episode, Princess Cookie. This episode revolves around Finn and Jake intervening in a hostage situation. The situation eventually takes a turn when Jake learns that the captor, Princess Cookie, is just misunderstood. Princess Cookie grew up at the Candy Orphanage, and one day PB came to entertain the children, and when she asked what Princess Cookie wanted to be when he grew up, he stated that he wanted to be a princess like her so that he could help bring smiles to kids, which I think is adorable. In fact, PB laughed because she thought that the answer was adorable too, but her laugh felt like an insult, at least to Princess Cookie, which is why he's holding a bunch of people hostage and stuff. So Jake helps Princess Cookie escape the Candy Kingdom, but between the pressure of the situation and with banana guards on their tail, Princess Cookie decides to give up and, oh well, damn. God, this is sad. Thankfully, there is a happy ending to this episode, but man, this moment takes the cake as being one of the darkest in all of Adventure Time. If Adventure Time wasn't technically a show for kids, Princess Cookie would be dead in that ravine. Guaranteed. The Glitch. Viruses and malware can be pretty scary, especially when they enter the real world and try to destroy everything that you love and hold dear to your heart. Man, this segment would have paired really well with a VPN sponsor, but I guess I'm not cool enough for that. Hey, NordVPN, reach out to my business email. Anyways, next up on our list is Season 5, Episode 15, and another episode that I talked about for a previous video, A Glitch is a Glitch. The basic rundown of this episode is that the Ice King creates a virus capable of deleting everything within the world except for himself and also Princess Bubblegum. So it's up to Finn and Jake to locate and purge the glitch before it consumes the entire digital land of Ooh. David O'Reilly did such a fantastic job writing and animating this episode, but the detail that he truly nailed on the head was the eerie nature of the glitch monster itself. Truly, this virus is bonkers. In fact, the whole episode is full of these little freaky moments that I don't think would have looked as scary had they been animated in the traditional Adventure Time style. Here's your gold star. Finally, we have what I would consider to be one of the most spine-tingling moments from the entire series. This particular moment always gives me chills whenever I watch it. I'm talking, of course, about the moment in the Season 6 episode Gold Stars, when the Lich reawakens within Sweet Pea to teach the King of Ooh and Toronto a valuable lesson. This entire episode basically consists of the King of Ooh and Toronto taking advantage of Sweet Pea's naive nature and his very unique talent of swinging his gut back and forth, which he does in order to distract random people so that the King of Ooh and Toronto could rob their loot. Side note, this very unique talent really reminds me of the Truffle Shuffle from the Goonies. But anyways, Sweet Pea eventually catches on to the charade, and once confronted by the King of Ooh and Toronto, the Lich Within reawakens to give the two crooks a little lesson in history. We, the audience, are then presented with one of the darkest scenes in all of Adventure Time, explaining basically the origin of everything.
Here's your gold.
Gold Star.
It's a pretty surreal experience witnessing the beginning of everything, from an ocean of primordial monsters to nothing to time to now. Ron Perlman, the voice actor for the Lich, has always done such an incredible job giving the Lich's voice this sinister and evil energy to it, and I really believe that this particular scene captures that essence perfectly. Well, there you guys have it. 8 of the darkest and creepiest moments from Adventure Time that'll make you say, wow, that was mathematical. If you guys have any suggestions for other creepy or dark moments in Adventure Time that you would like me to cover in a future video, or if you guys want more Adventure Time content from me in the future, let me know in the comments below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, drop a like, maybe we could hit 40 likes. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here. Click the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload a brand new video, follow me in all of my social links, and join my Discord server. All links in the bio below. Have a mathematical day, everyone, but please remember that I will take your flesh when you're sleeping.